couple things this morning as we continue to work together as a church. I love that we use the word guest. When I was from North Carolina, originally from North Carolina, in North Carolina, guests would, you would expect guests to come. Visitors show up unannounced. And we were expecting you today, and so we are grateful that you are part of our family, and we are all the family of God. And so thank you for being here with us today, and we pray that this won't be your last time coming here with our St. Andrew's Church. This is my 16th day as the pastor of this church. I'm so grateful to God for the marriage that He has provided through the godly wisdom of our Bishop Few, for allowing me to come and be the pastor, the 42nd pastor. I don't know how they came up with that number, of this great church. I count it a privilege and an honor to serve. Many of you know I actually live in Harlem, New York right now. I have always been a part of the 5th District, but a year ago took a job as a professor at NYU, and so over the weekends, your pastor has been flying on the friendly skies, and God has been speaking and really showing us what happens when you trust God by faith. Come on, y'all. I say that because don't let the degrees fool you. Amen. In this life, it doesn't make the difference how you look, what kind of money you have, what kind of experiences you have. I'm older than what y'all think I am. I just know how to live right.
In my church, when I asked them, good morning, church, how are you doing? They would respond with, I'm blessed, I'm on top, because in Deuteronomy chapter number 28, verses 1 through 14, the word declares to us, if we live a life of obedience to God, we can live the blessed and on top life. Amen. 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 It said we're blessed coming in, we're blessed going out. I want to say amen to that. Blessed in the city, blessed in the field. He will open up the windows of heaven and pour out blessings you will not even have room enough to receive. Say amen to that. Amen. God is good. Let's give him a hand of praise. I'm so very, very happy to be here. I'm so humbled. I'm so, this is a very, very emotional day for me. I don't look like it, but I'm 66 years old. Like Pastor said, God will preserve you if you live a righteous life, if you pursue Him. Give Him your life and trust Him with your life. He'll give you a long, healthy, vibrant, exciting life. And my life it's been very exciting. I've done a lot of things. I've seen a lot of things, gone a lot of places, and met a lot of people. And it's only because of God. And I stand here today humble. Trust me, I'm nothing. I'm less than nothing without Him, but with Him, there is nothing that is impossible. And I want you to know that I love you, even though I don't know you, because we're part of the same body. We have the same DNA. We have the DNA of God. If you don't know you have the DNA of God, I came to tell you this morning that you have the DNA of God. There's so much in you that you have not even an idea of what's inside of you right now. And the attacks and the challenges and the things that you're going through are because there is value in you. And the enemy of our soul does not want you to know who you are. He does not want you to know whose you are. He does not want you to know what you have. And he does not want you to know how to use it.
We are here at St. Andrew's AME and we're going to be speaking with Reverend Robinson pretty soon in the building. As you can see, this is the aftermath of the wonderful occasion here where Daniel Blue, yes, Daniel Blue, who Reverend Mr. Les Robinson is a descendant of Daniel Blue. So I'm going to see if I can get with him real quick, have a quick interview, and then we will go forth.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen. So, what are we doing here? If you don't mind speaking in the mic, because it's a little loud.
We're celebrating the 172nd anniversary of St. Andrew's AME Church. It's a church that my great-great-great-grandfather, Daniel Blue, founded in his home in 1850 during the gold rush days. It's the oldest African-American church in western United States, west of the Mississippi.
Okay, who's this gentleman next to you?
This is my dear friend and brother, Johnny Ware. We ran track and played football together at Sac High back when the old Dragons played in the 70s. He's the 75 CIF state champion in the 400 meters, and we played a lot of championship ball together.
And we grew up from the age of about 6 or 7 together. So it's just been
lifelong.
And here we are here today, standing in the church today. That's just how great it is, you know. It's greatness.
Now, Mr. Ware, you wouldn't happen to be relatives of any of the Wares, like the Sean Ware?
Yes, Sean is my nephew. Sean was my nephew, yeah. Oh, okay.
Right.
So you were Kennedy High School too, then? Okay. Okay.
All right.
Man, family. Okay, so I just want to ask a couple questions, if that's okay.
Yes.
And then it should be about 5 minutes. We'll wrap it up, because I know you two have your day to day, and I do too.
Exactly.
So first of all, AME Media Group, we've been following reparations for this whole time. And so I just want to first, Mr. Ware, if we can get your idea and concept. Well, first of all, are you familiar with the California Reparations Task Force to study reparations here in California?
Yes.
You are? Okay.
Yes.
So from your understanding so far, what does reparations look like to you? And can you give us, your perspective on reparations?
Well, I think the reparations needs to be where initially it was us getting our 40 acres and a mule. It didn't have a whole lot to do about income. I'd rather have the land that was promised to us than any income. Any income that's owed to us. Now I'm hearing it could be like $350,000 a person. That's what the government should owe us at this time. But more than that, 40 acres for every black person in California would just be amazing. It'd be an amazing thing, and that you can hand down. That money you could spend and it'll go away. But with the land, you could have that land, just like my man here says, legacy, pass that baton with that land to your family.
Right.
And that's to me is what's key. Yeah, that's what's key.
Yeah.
Okay. So what about you, sir, Mr. Robinson? What is your idea and concept of reparations?
I think it should be a combination of land and money. Of course, there are lots of us that can use money. Money is the Bible says that answers all things in the earth, but also land. Land, you can never really amass true wealth in America without land. That is the beginning of wealth, or you being in the game of wealth or opportunity to live the American dream until you own land, until you own property. Everyone knows it. Every other race that has come to America, the first thing they want to do is get land.
Yeah.
So everyone knows that the key to true prosperity and wealth in America is ownership of land.
And so can you briefly speak about your ancestor, Dr. Blue, Daniel Blue?
Amazing man.
Definitely amazing. I know we've had conversations, about the possible land theft here in eminent domain, which runs rampant within the black community, right? Can you speak just from your perspective on your opinion about maybe possibly, historically speaking, what happened to Daniel Blue and possibly the land theft that happened right here in Sacramento?
Well, we're not sure how his land disappeared. I know I've heard at one time that he owned all of the land on most of I Street from the river to 7th. On that land now stands the county courthouse, the federal courthouse, the city jail, and also Amtrak. And where the Southern Pacific Railroad Station museum is today was his front porch. So what happened to all that land? How did he lose it? Where did it go? I've read articles about he lost land because there were storms or there were natural disasters. Well, what does that mean?
Yeah.
So we want to know, land don't just disappear. It's still there. We're talking about it. That means I've seen it, you've seen it, it's still there. So who does it belong to now, and how did they get it?
And I like to say it doesn't pertain to Sacramento, but in the city of Folsom, you may be familiar with, Black Negro Bar. So with Negro Bar, when the people came out, okay, I'm gonna go back a little bit farther. When people first started coming to America, the United States government would give land to people. Just okay, you go out west, farther west you go, the free of the land that they're giving you to it. Yes. And then so when they came to Folsom, it wasn't Folsom before then, but when they came to Negro Bar, they set up a whole little city, a little small town city, and they set all this up. They had restaurants, theaters, bars. They had everything going there that a city would have. And then they were finding so much gold at that time. The black people were. These are the black people. They were finding so much gold at that time that they incorporated the city of Folsom, and ran those guys right out of there. They said, okay, the city is taking this over, so you guys have to leave. And I could see, because that was in 1849, 1843. So I could see Mr. Blue, probably something similar to that happened, because he says the courthouse, all this downtown stuff, the city government stuff is right there. So the government was doing that. That's what they were doing. That's what they were doing. If it's valuable, the government will come in and take it over from us. Not from them, but from us.
And from what I understand, nobody wanted the land that he owned when he first got it, because the levee system wasn't in there. It used to flood. But then when they put the levee system in, then it became desirable land.
And so just real quick, last question. So I just kind of want to elaborate on that and talk about desirable. Can you kind of speak on how African Americans moved into these undesirable places and then built them up, and then today it seems like you have gentrification coming to this? Can you speak on that, either one of you two?
That's the American culture. That's been happening through the years. I mean, it happened in San Francisco, just like Nob Hill. It was all blacks up there. Then they develop it, and they see the land value, and then they come and find a way to take it, or make some excuse to take it, or pass some law to take it. Eminent domain. That's been the history of America, and as it pertains to African Americans.
Okay, and my family my people are from Oklahoma. So Black Wall Street, I had a great auntie who had stores and property on Black Wall Street. So, and we know what happened there.
Yep.
Black Wall Street became very desirable. And they were some of the richest people in the world. People were loaning money to the Jews. So everybody around, all the white people had to come to these guys and get money. So they just blew them up. They went in there and killed everybody they could, burned down everything, burned down a whole community, because they're mad because these people has prospered. And that was supposed to be a blueprint for Black Americans. Yeah, because they had them in different
sectors of the country.
Yeah, and they were doing the exact same thing, and every last one of them almost came to the same fate.
Yep.
So that is just what our story is here.
The same kind of thing happened in Val Verde, California, right outside of Santa Clarita. Mm-hmm. There was a black community that came in and destroyed that. Val Verde. Yeah. Look it up.
Well, I want to thank you too for continuing your efforts, giving us the platform, this wisdom, and I'll definitely be in touch. So if you guys have anything else to say, we'll wrap it up.
We appreciate you coming out and talking to us.
Yep.
And I just want to say I'm so proud of this man today, because the knowledge he expressed to us today was just mind-boggling. Because I had no idea Mr. Blue had all this going way back there, and you know, and back
It
in
should
those
be in the
days,
history books,
yeah,
man.
yeah, and back in those days, you could think about how difficult it was for that black man to do the things that he was doing here in Sacramento.
Man, that's crazy.
That was just the most difficult
Laws
thing.
getting passed. He was a slave, man. Where did he get that kind of education, that kind of
Yeah.
mindset? That was a
God.
blessing of God, man.
That's right. That's all.
Brilliant.
That's all it is.
Brilliant, man. In them times, man.
Yeah.
Just, come on.
It's hard today.
Yes.
Can you imagine what it was
Yeah.
back in those days? You know.
All right, well, cool. Thank you.
All right.
Bless you.